Wow. It is so nice
Yummy, yummy,
to
yummy.
pick fruit off the tree.
They're delicious. So juicy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some that are already starting to be softer.
Yeah, they're on there.
They,
They'll fall.
oh, yummy. I know why she's taking a video. She's trying to make sure I'm pick on her.
Wow, look at all those.
Oh, it just, Tammy, I can't wait for my peaches. Okay.
It's that time of year. Time to get some fruit trees planted. We have lots of fruit trees growing on our property, and we added an almond last year also. The almond tree is doing great. It already has blossoms on it, and we had 29 degrees the other night, so got the frost cloth on it so that I don't lose my blossoms. Hopefully we're gonna get some almonds this year. And my mom got us this beautiful tree. It's a combination cherry tree. It's got 5 different varieties on it, and the shape is just beautiful. It's already got the leaves coming out. So I'm gonna get this guy planted today and go over planting and growing fruit trees. And we're also adding another avocado, and this one's unique. It's a cold hardy avocado, which is important for my area because in January and February we do get some frost. So it gets really cold here. We get down to like 28, 29. So we have to be careful of the fruit trees that we select. For instance, we have a mango growing, and it's our 4th mango. It's cost us a lot of money, but it's my husband's favorite fruit, so I just keep trying. I think we're going to be successful this time because I bought a very mature mango. He built a nice trellis over it so that we can wrap it up really well during the frost. And this other nut tree that we're adding that my mom got for us is a macadamian. And it says it's hardy down to 30 degrees, which should go perfect in our area. So then we'll have the almond and the macadamian, and I would love to add a black walnut, but I am severely allergic to black walnut trees, so I'm gonna have to skip that one. All right, so today I'm going to share the planting and growing requirements for your bare root fruit trees, and then I'm going to get my fruit trees fertilized and pruned. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the packaging, and you'll see here that the bare roots are packaged in a bunch of wood shavings. I'm gonna remove all the wood shavings from the roots and get the roots soaked in this bucket of water for a few hours, just in case there's anything in the wood shavings that I don't want to get transferred into the hole that the cherry tree is going to go in, just to make sure that it gets the best start possible. Hey buddy, you having a beautiful day? Alright, so I got the bare roots soaking. Now I'm going to go get the soil mixed. I'm going to be using an Edna's Best organic soil and some Harvest Supreme, an organic compost. So we have a nice deep hole dug, and now I'm going to mix in some of this Edna's Best. Normally I like to use Dr. Earth, but I haven't been able to find it in several months. So Edna's Best will work. You can see it's got a lot of good stuff in it. And I'm also going to be adding some compost, the Harvest Supreme, and this tree fertilizer by Dr. Earth. The dirt on our property is basically decomposed granite. You can see at the back of our property, that hill over there is just about one big rock. We're able to plant some stuff on it. We gotta kind of hunt around for some loose spots, but a lot of it is solid rock. We do have a cherry tree up there and some grapevines, and then the tree that is under the plastic That's the mango I was mentioning, and it's doing really well, thankfully. My mother-in-law has a mango on her property, and she gets frost and it survives, but it's a mature mango, so that's why we went with a more mature tree this year and made sure it was protected really well. We'll do that for the first couple of years so that it gets nice and established. So it makes growing a challenge on our property, but we're able to do it by amending the soil and making sure that we put good quality soil with lots of nutrients in the ground. You can see here all the minerals that are in this Dr. Earth tree fertilizer and all of the beneficial organisms. And I'm also going to add some of this azomite you can get on Amazon, and I'm also going to add some biochar. Okay, so the tree has been soaking in the water for several hours, and you can see that I couldn't even put it back in the bucket of water if I wanted to, because the water has really stimulated the roots to spread out and they are ready to get in the ground. I've already lost one of the main roots. It's a pretty big one, but there's so much root growth here. I know the tree is going to be fine. All right, so here we are. And the tree is ready to go in the ground, and I'm going to make sure that the root ball stays above ground level about 2 inches. Then I'm going to pack the dirt in and remove all air pockets as much as possible. I'm going to give it a really deep water, repack the soil to remove air pockets, and water it again. All right, I gave it a deep water. I'm going to do it a few more times just to make sure that I'm removing all the air pockets in the soil. So I'll pat it down, give it a deep water, and repeat that a few times. And then the last step is going to be to prune it. Buddy, what's down there? Did you find something? A worm? And the last step, and it's a very, very important step, is I'm going to get this tree pruned back dramatically. I've learned the hard way in the past planting fruit trees and not doing this step, and they didn't establish well. I have a nectarine tree that is doing amazing right now, but I lost probably about a year by not doing this important step. So I'm going to remove about 2/3 of these branches, and it's a really nice sized tree right now. It's about a 6-foot high tree. So it's going to dramatically reduce its size, but it's way more important for the tree to get nice and established this season. All right, I'm so sad. I hate this part. So the tree is dramatically shorter, and I'm actually gonna take off a little bit more of this one. But this is the shape I'm after, kind of like a goblet shape. Let me take you over to my apricot and nectarine. Beautiful trees. This angle could probably show the shape better. You could see that it's in the shape of a big goblet, big cup. And now I need to come in and remove some of the downward facing branches and then lots of the inward facing branches. I'm going to remove those so that there is going to be ultimate air circulation going through the tree and sunlight. Here's the nectarine tree, super beautiful tree. Very cute shape. It's also in the shape of a goblet, but it's just needing some pruning. It's going a little wild. So I'm going to do the same, remove the downward facing branches, remove a lot of the inward facing branches to improve air circulation and the sunlight exposure. I'm also going to top off the apricot tree because I want to keep it dwarfed. And oh man, that guy's reaching like, I'd say 15 feet or so. So I'm just going to come in with the ladder and top it off. And this combination apple tree needs to be pruned back. Some of the grafts didn't take as well, and some of them are just doing amazing. Like this branch is just outgrowing the whole tree. I got to dramatically cut this guy back. It gets apples on it and it just really starts pulling the tree one way because the other grafts aren't doing as well. So I'm going to remove this bottom branch that's just too low, and then dramatically cut back some of the other grafts that are doing much better and kind of balance it all out. And here we are. It's been a little over a couple of weeks and the cherry tree is establishing very well. Look at all this new leaf growth. All right, that's it for now. I've got a cold hardy avocado tree to plant and the macadamia nut. Hope you enjoy your week and enjoy your garden.